Hi everybody, welcome to the amazing Sons of the Forest. So in this video I'm going to be talking about what's it like, what is the game, does it seem to be any good, is it the new DayZ, and I guess if you like games like DayZ, will Sons of the Forest be the game for you? Now where I am at the moment, I'm actually at my little lakeside base, just sitting down on this chair by the fireside. The rain's just stopped, and yeah, I've been having a great time. So, Sons of the Forest is a single or multiplayer co-op horror survival game. Basically, what's happened is we've been sent in. I'm a soldier. I've been sent in to find this billionaire head of the company we work for and his family, and we've been mysteriously shot down, or we crashed on this island. Yeah, and there we go. And now we've got to kind of survive because we haven't got much of our kit left. We have to fight off the various AI enemies that are on the island. There's things like cannibals and different sorts of people and mutants and things like that. That's where the horror side of it comes in. I have, as you can see here, friendly companions who will help me along the way if I'm careful. This young lady is bringing me a fish. Thank you very much, which I can now eat raw if I like, which isn't very good. Yes, thank you very much. And I've got another fella, Calvin. Here comes Calvin. Kelvin. Yeah, you take a seat. That's it. You take a seat there. And are you gonna take a seat? You gonna take a seat as well? And Kelvin's especially helpful because I can give him orders. I can say, get rocks and fill the holder. There you go. Unfortunately, Kelvin, who is one of my teammates, had a bad head injury when we crashed, and now he can't speak or hear. But I can tell him what to do, and he will do things like go and gather resources for me. He will complete structures for me. He'll go and get me food and all this sort of stuff. Well, this young lady here, she just kind of randomly brings me stuff, but I think I can equip her with weapons later on, and she'll help to defend. So, Sons of the Forest is sort of an open world, single player, multiplayer, co-op horror survival game. It looks absolutely fantastic, I've got to say. Now this is on PC, it's on early access on PC, but it seems to be working pretty well. And it's definitely going to be coming to console because The Forest, the predecessor to this game, although the storyline doesn't directly lead on from one to the other, was very successful on console. It's fully controller compatible. I'm playing with my Xbox controller, and everything works very, very well. And it seems, and I mean, hopefully that you can come across in this video how good this game looks. So what you've got to do basically is you have to survive, and you have to, unlike DayZ, you can follow the story points. Look at that view there. You can follow the story through, and it's a little bit, I guess, like The Forest. There's a little bit Resident Evil kind of thing. I know it doesn't look like it here, but it kind of turns a little bit Resident Evil as you're going along. And then ultimately, when you finish the storyline, and I'm not going to give away any spoilers, you can then choose to finish the game, or you can stay on the game and continue surviving and enjoying yourself in a survival environment. Or you could, I guess, just have a survival environment all the time anyway, and not worry about the storyline. Is it like DayZ? So, it is in a way the fact that it's a survival game, and so you have to eat and drink and you can build structures, but it's done in quite a different way. And also, if we kind of look at the map, so this is the map for Sons of the Forest, this island that you're on. In fact, and these are all the points of interest that you can have. It's basically forest, beach, some open areas, and some mountain snowy areas, but there aren't things like cities. So this is Chernerus, for example. Let's put all the loot on. Woohoo! You can see all the loot there. Chernerus is much bigger and has cities, towns, and villages for you to explore. And in DayZ, you spawn in on the coast, don't you, with basically nothing, and then you've got to find stuff and then survive and make your way in. Also, DayZ is, I guess, I would call it massively multiplayer in the fact that you got, 60 to 100 players on a server, and you're encountering people you don't know. whether that be friendly encounters or PvP encounters, where in the forest that's not going to be happening because you're going to be playing with people. Probably your friends, if you're not going to be playing with enemies, I guess. Well, I guess you could play with randoms, but the idea is you're not killing each other. The idea is you're working together. With DayZ, whether that happens. Obviously, DayZ doesn't have a story either beyond surviving and doing lots of different things that you can do. Where Sons of the Forest definitely does, but again, you don't have to do that. Sons of the Forest is very polished, even though this is early access as well, and I think what's really... Hello. This young lady comes and helps you, and yeah, she's looks a bit worse for the wear though, doesn't she? That may be... From what I understand is your NPC companions can die and can get injured, but yeah, I'm not quite sure how that mechanic works. But she's definitely looks a little bit like she needs some TLC. But yeah, sorry, the Sons of the Forest is very, very polished in terms of how you craft and how you build structures and items and things like that. And it has multiple ways of for you to craft and build structures, which is very exciting. And I think it's very cool to have this sort of thing because, I mean, the DayZ engine is old, isn't it? And it probably won't be able to support this sort of thing. However... Yeah, hello, how are you doing, mate? Yeah, you did okay, did you? I tell you what, why don't you take a break? Take a break. Alright? Yep, good. You go and take a break. And I doubt they'll be able to add things like this, but Armour Reforger has a building system very similar to this as well. So basically, if you want to build structures in Sons of the Forest, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You have this book that helps you, and in this book it has two modes to it. So what you can do is you can put down, for example, a blueprint, a bit like DayZ, a bit like the kits in DayZ. So I could put a blueprint down like that, and then I can add. In fact, let's just and then I can add things to it. So it says it wants 46 logs, and then some other stuff as well. And I can add stuff to it, and it will slowly build it as we go along. Or I can ask my AI companion to give me a hand. In fact, I bet that lady, she dropped me something. So let's pick those berries up. He can give me a hand, and he will build it for me up to a point where there's stuff in it that he can't do. So, for example, at the moment I haven't got a saw. So if we need planks, let's get rid of that now. We can't continue. So, for example, I started building a tree base up here. But unfortunately, we need some planks, and we haven't got a saw for planks, so he's kind of stopped doing that. But he'll also go off and gather resources. The other way that you can build as well is that, if we switch the mode on the book, is you can literally, just build things however you like. So you can build a floor, and then you can build a wall, and you can build doors and windows. And this is where you're physically just placing, for example, a log on the ground next to another log using an axe, and this is how you make custom structures. However, Kelvin, your NPC, he won't really be able to help you with this because you're kind of doing it off your own back. And then for your simple crafting, you open up your backpack and you can combine things. So it'll tell you based on what you've got in your inventory, this is the things that I could build. And you just put these things in the middle. So for example, if I wanted to make a stone arrow, I put that in the middle, and then what else did it say I want? Then I want 2 sticks, 4 rocks, 2, 3. What was it? Little rocks. 4 little rocks, wasn't it? So start again. So we wanted 2 feathers, 4 small rocks, 2 sticks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1. What else did we need? Right, we can combine these now. And then we've got feathers. So then we've got arrows. Now I haven't got a bow yet. But I can make one, but that's how you craft stuff. Also, and that's down my inventory. Also, you can craft stuff on the ground as well. So, for example, to start a fire, you just have some sticks. So let me get rid of this stone. So if I have some sticks, for example, so if I pick up a stick and go over here, I can press trigger, it'll snap them, and basically that's the start of a fire now. So I can add more stuff to it, or I could just light it straight away, and then I can add stones to it to make it a reinforced fire. And as you can see here, we've got racks of consumables that I've asked my NPC to go and help me find. Here we've got some drying racks for food. So, for example, I've got dried fish because, again, Kelvin will go off and he will get fish for you, or you can kill animals. I could kill these turtles if I want to. And the young lady that you saw earlier, she brings you stuff as well. And it's really, really, really good fun. And I think lots of people, if you like DayZ, you're going to like this. Now, you may be wondering, okay, Rob, that sounds very nice, but why aren't you being attacked by the enemies on the island? Why aren't you being attacked by the cannibals? And the answer is I'm playing in peaceful mode at the moment. So there's various different modes you can play. You can play in normal, where as you're wandering around you get attacked. I think there's hard, and there's peaceful. There might even be a story mode as well, where not much happens at all. But I wanted to play in the peaceful mode, so I won't get attacked. So I can just learn the mechanics of the game, learn how to craft, learn how to build, make tutorials, follow the storyline, and generally have an experience like that. And so far, I mean, I've just spent all my time by this lake because it's so pretty. I've been making stuff, and you can tell the love and care that's gone into this game with things like the fact that you can have a sit down, with the way that the NPCs interact with you. And I was a little bit hesitant at first that he's taking a rest about the NPCs, because AI, if it's done badly, really does break immersion, doesn't it? But these seem fine, and from what I've seen of the enemies when I've played on the normal mode as well, they're pretty scary and very dangerous. So what happens when you die? Well, there is permadeath sort of in the game, but what you can do is, as long as you've got some shelter, so you can either make shelter, or there's these tents, or for example in this little hut I've made a bed. As you can see, I can save the game, so I can save on that, and now my character is now saved, and I can go to sleep as well. And she's just having a drink there, isn't she? Yes, she does have 3 legs and 3 arms. That's very strange. I think she's the daughter of the billionaire, I think. But sometimes if you get captured by cannibals, if you get sort of killed by the enemies, sometimes you end up at a cannibal camp, and then you can free yourself, pick up your gear and kind of carry on. But sometimes it will just say you are dead. But the fact that you can save the game obviously means you can just roll back to your last save. So as long as you regularly save by building structures, you can build a structure out of a stick and a tarpaulin, and it seems very, very good. So far, Sons of the Forest seems to be really cool. It's not the new DayZ. It is a survival horror game, story-based open world, but it is single-player or multiplayer co-op. But it is very pretty. It seems very feature complete. I'd imagine they will be bringing in things like diseases and sickness, because at the moment I've been eating raw food and eating toadstools and things like that. I seem to be okay. But the survival mechanics seem good, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing some more of this game, building stuff, finishing off that tree house over there, taking my AI companions with me, exploring the storyline, and then existing in this environment. So if you enjoy DayZ, definitely I'd say you should think about picking this up, because it's not very expensive either. It is an early access, so there will be bugs and there will be more features being added, but so far I'm having a great time. So what do you think? Are you playing Sons of the Forest? If you are, put your comments down below. Hello. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like, if you want to see more the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.